How many games will the Washington Commanders win in 2024? What's going on, Commies fans? It's your boy Man Jones here back with another NFL record prediction. And now we're here to give you my record prediction for the Washington Commanders for 2024 NFL season. Commanders got a new quarterback in Jayden Daniels. The new era begins. New head coach in Dan Quinn with a good defensive scheme. I'm just gonna give you my thoughts on my game analysis, to see which games I think the Commanders will win and which games I think Commanders will lose. So before I give you my record prediction for the Washington Commanders for 2024 NFL season, don't forget, put the thumbs up to like the video, subscribe to my channel for more options, and comment down your opinion below to see how many games you think the Commanders will win. Hear how good you think the Commanders will win. Do you know this is the year they can be a playoff team? Do you think or else you think they're gonna be worse again? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. So let's get things started. So week 1, they have to play on the road against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously, this is a good game, a game that can go either way. Now, most people are picking the Commies to win, but here's the thing: I got the Bucs winning that game because the reason is the game's in Tampa. Tampa Bay has a proven quarterback. They're at home in this game, and I think the Bucks, they're a better team overall. I think they're a better version of Commanders, and I think when you look at the Bucks, I think the Bucks offense, with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, those guys are going to be too much for the Commanders secondary to handle, and I don't see how the Commanders cover the Bucks. And especially to have a strong offensive line, and their defense is totally good, led by Todd Bowles. Like, he's good against these mobile quarterbacks. He's going to find a way to blitz Jayden Daniels, and their secondary is pretty talented. So the Bucks got that who can man up against the Commanders receiver. So the Bucks got so many pros on both sides of the ball. So yeah. So I think the Bucks win this game at home. Week 2 against the Giants. This is a game I think the Commanders can win because it's the home opener. But I'm actually going to go with the Giants in the first game. And I'm going to go with the Commanders in the second game. The reason why I'm going with the Giants in the first game because I think Daniel Jones is a much more proven quarterback than Jayden Daniels. And especially the Giants coaching staff is really good. I have a feeling that Jayden Daniels will just get better later in the season. And I think he just needs to learn. He's going to have to learn a new system from Washington. And the Giants got a proven quarterback, Daniel Jones, but I don't know if he's any good. But the Giants, played him pretty tough, though, throughout the season. So, yeah, I like the Giants here. And I think Washington's going to win the game later in week 9 because, Washington's going to want that revenge because, the Giants swept them last year. I don't see it happening again. I think, Washington and Giants are both similar teams. So, yeah, I think, they should be able to split. And then week 3 against Cincinnati Bengals on Monday night, I actually got them losing to Cincy because Cincy's just an overall better team, better quarterback. They're both LSU quarterbacks playing against each other. So the Bengals are at home. I got the Bengals win because they're a better team, better quarterback, better coaching staff. They're at home. They much more have a better roster. Like, they have the better defense, in my opinion. Like, I wouldn't trust a rookie, especially on the road against a good defense like the Bengals. Like, they got good corners, a good pass rush that can really get after them. Their old line has improved. The receiving core is really good. I mean, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins is just going to be too much there. So I don't see how Washington is going to be able to cover the Bengals. So that's pretty much why I think Cincy wins that game. Next game against the Cardinals. This is another game that can go either way. I could see Washington getting their first win, but I'm gonna roll the Cardinals here because I just think the Cardinals, I think Washington has more talent on both sides of the ball than the Cardinals. I think they're a better roster from a talent standpoint, but I think the Cardinals, are gonna have a good game. I think Kyler's gonna have a good game here. I think they're offensively. I think they're gonna move the ball in Washington, and they pretty much got some weapons that can really attack you, like Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., the rookie, Greg Dortch, Michael Wilson, Zay Jones. Like a lot of those weapons can definitely give the Commanders defense some problems. Like I don't think Washington really has the corners to cover them. So yeah, I think the Cardinals offense will do a good job controlling the game, keeping, Jaden Daniels on the sideline. And Gannon has did a really good job with the Cardinals don't really have a lot of talent on defense, but Jonathan Gannon has done a good job defending Washington throughout the past. So I think you can do it though in this game. So yeah, I think the Cardinals find a way to win that game. Then week 5 against the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, I got them losing to the Browns because Cleveland's proud. That's a game from 2 years ago where Carson Wentz really played bad, but I actually got the Browns winning because the Browns are just a better team overall, better quarterback, better coaching staff, and a rookie against an elite defense like Cleveland. Nah, Cleveland has a good pass rush, a good secondary that can really get after them after Washington. They have a strong offensive line and good weapons, like Amari Cooper, David Njoku, Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore. They have a good running game. Like I have a feeling that the Browns, the weapons that they have on offense would just be too much for the Commanders secondary to handle. Like I don't see how Washington can cover those guys. So that's why I think the Browns will win. Week 6 against the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, Baltimore should win because Baltimore's the better quarterback. They got the better coaching staff. They're at home. They're a better team overall. Better defensively. A rookie against a good defense like the Ravens. Now, Ravens are a legit roster, a good roster. They got good corners, a great passer that can really get after Jaden Daniels in that passing attack. The old Lions is a bit suspect. Maybe Washington's defense can give them problems, but yeah, and I feel like Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers will be a problem for the Washington secondary. I don't see how Washington can cover those guys, so I think the Ravens should win at home. Week 7 against the Panthers. This is a game that can definitely go either way. I can see the Panthers win this game because I believe they did upgrade their receiving core and they did upgrade the offensive line, but I think their defense is a little bit sketchy. So I'm leaning Washington to win that game. I just think Washington is a more better version of the Panthers because I think the Commanders, I think their defense is a lot better. I feel like with their pass rush, I think their pass rush can do a good job, like getting after Bryce Young and all that. I think their defense can definitely win them this game. I think Dan Quinn will have a good game plan against the Panthers like he did last time with Dallas. I think the Washington defense is going to give them problems. And, I think Jaden Daniels is going to have a good game here as well. And also, I think they can run the ball a little bit on Austin Eckler. I think they can run all over the Panthers. I think they're going to run all over this Panthers defensive line, which I don't think is good because they don't got a lot of pieces on defense now. Because outside of Derek Brown and Jadeveon Clowney, their pass rush is okay, but I think Washington offensively can move the ball on them. So, yeah, especially Washington has a better coaching staff and all that. So, yeah, that's why I think Washington wins that game. Week 8 against the Chicago Bears. Obviously, this is a game I think Washington can win, but two rookies playing against each other is going to be fun. But I kind of remember last year, the Bears really destroyed them. And I think the Bears can do it again like they did last year. So I'm going with the Bears here because I think the Bears are the better team overall. And I just kind of really feel like Caleb Williams is kind of more prorated than Jaden Daniels. The Bears, they did improve their offense. Like their offensive line is really good. They got good weapons on offense like Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet, DJ Moore, Rome Duze that can really like give the Commanders offense issue because I don't think the Commanders really have the corners to match up well with the Bears receivers. I think the Bears receivers are just going to be a problem. And on the other side, they have a better defense. Like I wouldn't trust a rookie, especially against a good defense like the Bears. I think the Bears defense is just going to give the Commanders problems. Like they pretty much have a good secondary that can man up against Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson, and their pass rush is really good. But outside of Montez Sweat, I feel like he can definitely have a good game here. Because, this is the Montez Sweat revenge game because he was a Commander, but now he's a Bear. I think the Bears defense is probably going to win this game. So I like the Bears here in that matchup. Week 10 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a game that Washington can definitely win because Pittsburgh seems to tend to lose games they shouldn't. But I'm going with the Steelers here because I think the Steelers are just a better team overall. They got the better quarterback and the better coaching staff. I mean, a rookie against an elite defense like Pittsburgh. Nah, I think, and especially the Steelers have a really good talented roster. I mean, their old line is improved. The defense is totally really good, especially their pass rush is very good. I think the Steelers' pass rush will be a handful in this game. So yeah, I think the Steelers should easily win that game. Next game, week 11 against the Eagles. This is on a short week, Thursday night. The game is in Philly, so I rolled the Eagles here because the Eagles are the better team, better quarterback, better coaching staff. They're at home. Yeah, that's pretty much why. Week 12 against the Cowboys. This is a game I think Washington can win. I can see Washington winning this game against Dallas, but obviously, I think Dallas is going to sweep them both times like they did last year because I feel like Dallas is a better team overall, better quarterback, better coaching staff. They got better coaching, and I wouldn't trust a rookie against a really good defense like the Cowboys because their pass rush is elite. Their secondary is really good. They got good weapons that can really like give the Commanders problems, give the Commanders defense problems. Especially Dak has played well against Commanders, and the Cowboys are a fast team. Like they're like a fast offense and a fast defense. So that's why I got the Cowboys, beating the Commanders twice. Okay, so yeah. Next game, week 13, they gotta play against the Titans. Obviously, this is a game. It's very tricky. This can definitely go either way. I can definitely see Tennessee win this game because I think Tennessee's an overall better team, and they pretty much did improve their roster a little bit. Like they got Calvin Ridley now paired up with DeAndre Hopkins and Tyler Boyd. They got weapons on offense that can really give the Commanders problems. Like they don't really have the cover guys to cover. They don't really have corners to cover them, but their offensive line is pretty much improved. The defense is pretty good, and they added Snead. So maybe their defense can give Jaden Daniels problems, but I'm probably gonna go with the upset here with Washington because I have a feeling that so just for the giggles, I'm just going with Washington because I feel like that Will Levis is gonna have some sort of karma in this game. Like I feel like he's gonna like have a I have a feeling that he's going to struggle against his Washington defense, which I think their defense can definitely give the Titans problems. And Titans got a new coach in mind, and Brian Callahan. Washington's probably have the most improving coach because Dan Quinn was the head coach before when he was with the Falcons. So yeah, I have a feeling Washington is going to win. So yeah, that's why. Then they get a bye week 14. So So yeah, they get the bye week. They have the bye week. They got to play on the road against New Orleans Saints. This is Jaden Daniels' return to LSU, where he played football at. I have a feeling that that's a game I think Washington can win because the Saints do struggle with quarterbacks that can move. But I'm taking the Saints because this game's in New Orleans, and New Orleans, I think they're just a better team overall. They got the better quarterback. They're at home, and I just have a feeling that the Saints defense is gonna like win them this game. I think their defense can find a way to at least like confuse the rookie quarterback. They got their corner. I believe their secondary is pretty strong now. They can man up against the Commanders' receivers. The Saints do have weapons on offense that can really scare them, like Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed. But I don't know. I don't think they're gonna be able to run the ball on Washington because I don't think their O line is that great. I feel like Derek Carr should be able to have enough time and all that to make some big throws and all that. So yeah, I think the Saints win that game. Then next game they got to play against the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, I think they'll split with the Eagles because Dan Quinn has has figured out how to confuse Jalen Hurts. Like he did that like in for like the past couple of years. I feel like he can do that with his defense. And especially Washington has played the Eagles pretty well in the past. So yeah. But in my opinion, I think Washington's probably gonna split with one of these teams. I think they're probably gonna split with either the Cowboys or the Eagles. But I got them swept by Dallas, but I think they'll beat the Eagles once because they just play sometimes they just play the Eagles really well. So yeah, that's pretty much why. And then last game against I think week 17 actually they play against the Atlanta Falcons on a Saturday. This is a game that can go either way. I could see Washington winning this game because this could be the Dan Quinn revenge game because Dan Quinn was the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. But this is also the Kirk Cousins revenge game because Kirk Cousins was in Washington. But I'm gonna go with the Falcons here because I think Kirk Cousins is gonna get his revenge on the Commanders, and I just kind of feel like Atlantis is a better overall team. They got the better quarterback, and I just think Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Darnell Mooney. I just feel like those guys will be too much for the Commanders secondary to handle. So yeah, and their offensive line is pretty good, but their defense I don't think is that great. But I think their secondary is okay, but I don't know about their run defense. Like I don't think they have much of a passer, but I think their secondary is solid. So I think they can like play some coverage again. They can cover like Terry McLaurin and all that. So yeah, I think the Falcons win that game on the road. So basically, I have the Commanders going 4-13. I don't see them at least any better than 6-11. But I feel like 4-13, it sounds about right. But when you look at the schedule of the Commanders, it's pretty tough because they have to play the Bucks, they play the Giants. I mean, they got to play like a couple playoff teams. Like they have to play like the best division in the NFL, which is the AFC North, which is the Bengals, the Browns, the Steelers, and the Ravens. They have to play the Bucks. They play the Falcons and the Saints. They got to play like the Bears, who I think is going to be good. They play the Eagles twice and the Cowboys twice. I mean, yeah, this is a hard schedule. Now, I have a question about Jaden Daniels. Like the thing is about Washington, like I like some of the pieces that they had with Frankie Louvu and Bobby Wagner and Jeremy Chin, Dorm Armstrong, Dante Fowler. I love the moves, but I just think they're missing pieces though, especially in the secondary. I mean, I still have questions about. I think their secondary is still weak, and I think their offense, like I've been saying this though, their offensive line is still atrocious. They, I like the Eckler addition, which that's nice, but they're just missing pieces. Like Dan Quinn, I feel like he's gonna give them a boost. He's gonna like keep this team more competitive. And Jaden Daniels, I feel like he could definitely be good in year one, but if he's not good, because Could he be good in year one? That's the question. I don't really know because we're gonna have to see about that. I feel like 4-13 sounds about right. I can definitely see them winning like one more game. Like I can definitely see them like beating the Cardinals. I can see them like upsetting the Steelers or beating the Bears, or I can see them beating the Falcons or saying something like that. But I just feel like Commanders, are probably gonna land from like I'm gonna say at least like 4 to 6 wins this year. But I'm going with 4 because of a harder schedule. So yeah, but I feel like maybe like 2 to 3 games at worst. And that's why I see it. I don't see them at least winning less than 4 games. But I think 4-13 sounds about right for Washington. But I hope they prove me wrong. But that's why I projected. But I feel like this is a year that I like some of the pieces, and I like to see what they can do with their new rookie quarterback. But I feel like this is a year that they won't be that much better. Maybe I say at least give them a year or two to get much better, and then maybe they get back in the playoffs. So yeah, so let me know in the comments section below what you think. It's Mayon Jones, a big fan. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later in the next video. Peace.